Many thanks for choosing us. The head of preventive at the TEMA port, Joseph ABOAGYE, says a gun dealer who imported about 1,500 pump-action guns has the necessary permit to import the firearms. Briefing the media after a joint media inspection by security personnel, he allayed the fears of the public, saying there is no cause for alarm. He further stated there are people licensed to import specific guns.
We are here at the state warehouse at the TEMA port, very close to the TEMA bonded terminal. Ongoing behind me, personnel of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the customs, and then the police and the military are here inspecting the various boxes that were pulled out from a suspected container. A lot of the personnel here are not willing to give us any information. They are tight-lipped, but what is happening here is that they pull out, some guns from the boxes behind me. When they pull them out, they inspect them and then take the specifics of it on a paper, all of them.
Examination has been carried out successfully by the entire security operatives at the port. We started at 9:50 a.m. and closed around 13:20 GMT or hours. The importer is a licensed importer who has all the requisite permits and documents needed to operate as an arms dealer. And that's all the relevant taxes have been paid. We want to inform the entire public that the security services at the ports are third-degree alert, and that there is no cause to fear, no cause for alarm, and that the public should disabuse their minds of any act of insecurity. The consignment was legally imported. These items were identified, and they are in tandem with the documents presented. Shotguns, pump action remover, that is pump action with magazine, pump action without magazine, automatic pistol grip and bat pump action. They all use the same ammunition with 12 gauge. He is a dealer. He's a dealer, a licensed dealer. So he's doing legitimate business. So in case of arms and ammunition, whatever they would import, the Ministry of Interior, and for that matter the police, is aware. When we intercepted this consignment, we thought we want the right thing to be done. Yes, so after scanning, there was a need because our scan images presented wasn't clear, and issues like this, we have every right to re-examine to establish the genuineness or otherwise. And somewhere along the line, miscreants who wanted to create unnecessary panic, two pains, probably shot the distance at a distance, and then, the whole thing was sent to the social media.
The freight forwarder who worked on the consignment explained that per the information on the bill of lading, custom officials at the scan unit had some suspicion, hence they stopped the container for further investigations.
Importer has a permit to import these items. He has it. So we don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with him. We are not bothered about this examination and all that. We're not bothered. So that is all there is to it.
When very low.
Do the permit come from the Ministry of Interior, headquarters, or police headquarters, everybody who are involved, all stakeholders, they are all involved. So we send letters to be and everybody so that we can get these things out. That is all.
Is it the first time you're importing items like this?
The importer will decide. I say I can tell you. The importer,
is it the first time the importer is bringing in items like this?
He has a permit, so I can tell you.
Yeah.
So how many are you able to tell us the number of pump action guns we told?
No, I can't tell you. They have done the examination. So the police and and you yourself were there, so you know what actually happened there. When you are doing this examination, you don't feel comfortable. But I was very confident that the importer has every document to take delivery of all these things. So I was very confident. I was not bothered at all. You know, that is all there is to it.
Not the first time that.
Well, the Ghana Police Service has, in the last few hours, issued a statement on this story, and I'll read excerpts of that to you. Following the trending social media story and pictures of a DAF articulated truck with registration number GT9699Y containing weapons, police assures that security agencies have physically examined the said truck and its contents and found them to be imported pump-action guns covered by regular documentation authorized by the Ministry for the Interior and relevant agencies, and they conform to the documents covering them. The pump-action guns in the truck are authorized for private use by licensed persons. They are not the type of weapons used by state security agencies. Police investigations further shows that rightful port procedures were followed to clear the weapons, and the importer is a licensed arms dealer authorized to import such weapons. Police further assures that police, together with sister security agencies, will continue to be vigilant to ensure that the country is secure. The public is also encouraged to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to the police for necessary actions. And that was a statement by the police service on that matter. Now, it's been almost 15 months since Martin Amidu was sworn in as Ghana's first special prosecutor. And as some Ghanaians begin to ask what he has achieved during that time, Joy News has obtained exclusive details of cases being pursued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The Special Prosecutor has filed one case in court. 24 others are being investigated. Our sources within the Special Prosecutor's Office have provided details of 25 cases at various stages of progress, including the 275 buses brought by Freddie Blay and the alleged diversion of public funds to finance NDC party research. Various documents in the possession of Joy News outlines dozens of cases that the Special Prosecutor is investigating. Let's take a look at some of the cases that are being investigated, and my colleague Kojo Yangson will join me with some details. Kojo, you've been following this issue, and we know about the 275 buses issues. What other issues are being pursued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
Well, a number of cases have been brought to our attention through our sources, and I can walk you through a few of them just behind me here on the screen. So, for example, there is this case of using public office for private benefit regarding the diversion of 13 million US dollars from a company called EO Group. Now, the respondent in this case is former President John Dramani Mahama. This is a case that is yet to be assigned to an investigator. Okay. But the Office of the Special Prosecutor is interested in looking into this matter and getting answers from the former president about the diversion of this money. Also, there's a case against Nana Oye Letha. Now, I say a case against her because an investigation has begun and she has given a statement to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. It is because there is a suspected misappropriation of public funds and money laundering. This regards some properties that are here in Accra and also in South Africa. Freddie Blay, the chairman of the NPP, also is on a list as a respondent for a case regarding the 275 buses that he purchased just in the run-up to the party executive elections last year. And the Office of the Special Prosecutor is interested in whether or not there was a case of money laundering there. Mahama Ayariga and 6 others were named in a case of procurement breach regarding the purchase of an ambulance by the Boku Municipal Assembly and the Health Directorate in that area. Now, this is a case that is under investigation, and Mr. Ayariga and these 6 others are being sought to give answers. But the case has actually made it to court, this particular one that I just mentioned with Mahama Ayariga and the 6 others. It is in court and it is to be prosecuted. Right. The wife of Kennedy Agyapong, the well-known NPP Member of Parliament, is also a respondent in a case where questions are being asked about a $100.5 million contract that was given to provide some street lights. This is a case that is yet to be assigned to an investigator, but the office is interested in the answers that Mrs. Agyapong will have for them. Right, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye's name came up, and this is a very interesting situation because the case is described as abuse of public office and misappropriation of public funds to the tune of $3 million US, which were used to purchase 2 mansions. But here is the status of the case. It is waiting for former President Rawlings to confirm the suspect's name in order for them to start investigating. So very interesting stuff there. Mr. Amidu obviously has the latitude to pick cases from anywhere. He doesn't have to wait for a petition before he decides that he's interested in one case or the other. And in this instance, it appears that he's interested in this case because of some reports that were made by various web portals, including Peace FM Online, who all reported that the former president, J.J. Rawlings, was accusing some small person in the NDC of having received $3 million and purchased the mansions.
But how has the progress been? How has former President Rawlings responded to this?
Well, that's the point. He hasn't responded. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is awaiting his confirmation.
Then this will take a long time.
Well, it's
but we
all
have
to
all
be
the
seen.
time. We have all the time, and I think there's another case that has to do with Alfred.
One more, and this is a very popular case we all know about, Mr. Alfred Obeng Boateng, who of course used to be the head of BOST. He has resigned, and it followed the report of 5 million gallons of contaminated fuel being sold at a price that was questionable. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor certainly wants to look into that as well.
We'll be looking forward to those cases, and Trust Your News will bring you all the updates. But the board chairman of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Linda Oforikwafor, has been speaking to Kojo Yankton, and she confirms the office will soon publish those cases under investigation.
I made this argument. Obviously, it's a new, fresh office that has to be set up properly in order for it to be able to execute its functions and mandates effectively. It will need some time to set up properly. So the first 6 months will be the time to put things in place. The second 6 months we're already in, and we are actually now, I'm sure, in the third 6 months. So it is more possible that the office should be able to do something of this nature. I believe in the laws that we have, and I believe we are supposed to work according to the law. So this is a responsibility, and the office must and should do that.
So have you had conversations with Mr. Amidu about it?
The office will do that.
I'm wondering whether you have had these conversations.
Personal conversation.
Chair, and this is something that is dear to your heart.
So dear to the heart of the board members.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes.
So, yes, is that something that you brought up with Mr. Amidu?
You need not even bring this up. Mr. Amidu also is a seasoned lawyer, and he knows the implications of some of these things. And I'm sure he knows that this will be done.
So what has he said officially about it? About, when he intends?
I think I am the one who has made official comments about this. But I know it will be done. Take my words.
So Mr. Amidu has not said anything to the board officially about when he is going to publish the information?
Try to remember. All I can say for now is that it will be done.
How do you know this? How do you know that?
Could it be done because I'm a board member? Must Mr. Amidu say it before it will be done? No.
You will ensure that it's done.
Yes, please.
She, however, says the board has not been informed about recruitment of lawyers for the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
The Act mentions a figure. Currently, the OSP can tell us how many lawyers he has. I don't have an idea.
Okay, but you know that there are some lawyers who have been recruited?
I don't know.
That's interesting, because you would imagine that is a rule to which you would give some input into the recruitment?
Kojo, I don't have the responsibility to recruit the people personally. The board has discussed the processes and what means we should use to get some people to work in the OSP office. We've had a first board meeting for the year. A second board meeting will be taking place, and there will be a briefing. Any other thing I know has come to my knowledge unofficially.
Okay.
And so I don't have, I can't disclose something.
But officially?
Officially, the OSP is now putting in place mechanisms to recruit some key staff to head, and that is the first step.
Away from the Special Prosecutor's Office, residents of PANKRONO Estates in Kumasi say they are undergoing what they describe as self-imposed curfew due to persistent robbery attacks. They say since March, after a 52-year-old man, James Mensah, also known as Efo, was stabbed to death by armed men, the area has known no peace. A metal container shop, which also serves as residence for late Mensah's family, got burned in a suspected arson less than 48 hours to his burial. The incident was followed a day later with the snatching of a resident's car at gunpoint. Bereaved relatives believe there are acts to scare them from pursuing justice after two suspects were arrested in connection with the issue. Ohiming Teria visited the community and has more in this report.
The gruesome killing of James Mensah, who will be buried on Saturday, prompted temporary police presence in the area. This mobile money operator lost 2,000 Ghana cedis to a fraudster, believed to be a member of a robbery gang in the community. Terrified residents have been sharing chilly accounts of how they have come under constant siege.
One
cannot stay out after 7 p.m. My son was attacked at Efua Kobi Junction just last Monday. The robbers were angered because they got nothing from him, so they hit him with a stone. We are helpless. It will take authorities to save us. We hear reports of people being stabbed every now and then. You can't go out after 8 p.m. You can't predict what will happen.
Residents say they are forced into their rooms at 7 p.m. for safety, as motorbike riding youths are constantly running the streets.
We have imposed curfew on ourselves because of the robbers. For some time now, we cannot attend church services in the evening. If you are not home before 7 p.m., you may have to seek refuge elsewhere. You cannot go home. A man was stabbed to death at Aduanenegari Junction. My own brother was also attacked last Monday. A lady and her boyfriend were attacked by the roadside. They took away their iPhone 7 and 900 Ghana cedis.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Ohiming Teria reports.
And later in this bulletin, transforming from male to female, Ghana's first transgender narrates what made her change her transition. We'll hear from Angela Coleman, formerly Prince Bento, who says she's set to marry a pastor.
I was a guy, I was facing a lot of challenges and stuff out there when I go out, when I'm in school, when I'm at work. I face so many challenges, so I couldn't stand it.
Stay with us, there is more on Joy News Prime. Welcome back to Joy News Prime. Now to the rest of our stories. And the infirmary at the Wa Central Prisons only exists in name. This is according to the General Yard Master of the Wa Central Prisons, Chief Thomas Possible Bepuli. The infirmary is without essential drugs to take care of sick inmates. Prison officers are often compelled to pay the medical bills of inmates who are not on the National Health Insurance Scheme. Chief Officer Bapule disclosed this when the WAS Central Executives of the Opposition National Democratic Congress donated some items to inmates of the WAS Central prisons. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
The WAS Central Prisons was established 99 years ago with 15 inmates. It has 9 cells and 5 officers. It was originally meant to accommodate 90 inmates, but currently has 226 inmates. There is congestion at the prison now, as each of the 9 cells has between 20 and 30 inmates.
If you enter the yard, you will see that the prisons are more. We don't have sitting places for them. Benches, we don't have them. Our cells too are congested. We don't have the cells, enough cells to host them, but we will just force to put them there. Some of the cells have been provided with fans, but the fans, the more it works, it wears off. And I think it will get some of those things, it will help us to take good care of them.
General Yard Master of the WAS Central Prisons, Chief Officer Thomas Possible Bapuli, speaking shortly after he received 3 bags of rice, 1 bag of sugar, and 30 cartons of soft drinks valued at 1,500 Ghana cedis on behalf of the Upper West Command of the WAS Central Prisons from the WAS Central Constituency Executives of the NDC, lamented about the inhumane conditions at the WAS Central Prison.
Sometimes we try our best to give them some air for some time before we lock them. In the morning, 6 o'clock, we normally open the doors down. Even the doors down for air to enter for about 1 hour, then the main chief officers come and take over.
Our family members of the National Democratic Congress, Dafiama Busie Isa constituency chairman, are asking the police to do a thorough investigation to find the culprits who killed the NDC chair. Richard Paulabon was gruesomely shot dead by 4 unknown assailants around Sagu, a community located at the outskirts of the Wa municipality. The driver of the vehicle sustained gunshot wounds and admitted at the Upper West Regional Hospital. The family of the deceased NDC chairman said they will wait for the police to finish the investigations before they hold his funeral. Joining us, Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam once again report.
This was the vehicle that the NDC Dafiama Bure Isa chairman, Richard Polbo, and 4 others were traveling back to Wawet after attending a funeral at Kajipuri on Wednesday evening. According to one of the occupants of the Benz ML, Brother Philip Boy, they bumped into 2 men who were wielding guns and flashing torchlights and ordered them to stop. They misinterpreted the scenario to that of a police snap checkpoint. They stopped to only realize that 2 other unknown assailants emerged from the bush.
And we detected that it is not police. Then we asked the driver to move. And after we asked the driver to move, we saw 2 to come out from the driving side, and we had a gun shock. They stopped on the driving side, and the driver was able to hang himself on the steer, and the bullet didn't get him, but the bullet were able to get into the driver's head, but it haven't entered. Then it penetrates to our constituency chairman. Once they shot the gun, they were coming that thought that maybe they have killed the driver. So, and we told the driver to proceed. Then we see what we bring our chairman to hospital, and our chairman were confirmed dead.
Since the incident, he has been unwell and going through psychological trauma.
There is panic on me. Even since yesterday, I could not sleep. When I sleep, it looks like as if my chairman is with me. So that I'm not feeling comfortable at all. What happened or what transpired yesterday.
Family members and close friends are in grief at Ndamba, the home of Richard Polbo. The pain of loss hangs over the whole suburb as they mourn their beloved ex-prophet chairman. whilst waiting for answers from the police on their investigations.
I can't put anything beyond justice we are calling for. We are just calling for justice. Because Ghana should be free to the extent that an ordinary citizen can move around and do his business and come back safely.
Spokesperson of the family, Julius Gandibu, noted that the death of Richard Polbo is a colossal loss to not only his family but the entire Dafema Bure Issa district. The Upper West Police Command says they have started investigation into the issue. They, however, are tight-lipped to say whether the attack was politically motivated or not. Inspector Gideon Boatan is the Upper West Police Public Relations Officer.
What we are having on our desk is that there has been an attack. People have been robbed, and somebody, even not, I wouldn't even say they were robbed, because that person was shot dead, and the other one, the driver, sustained severe injury, who is now still on admission, and therefore we are investigating that case. We won't affiliate anything to any political aspect.
We're still live on Joy News Prime now to the rest of our stories. And early last month, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development announced a closed fishing season for inshore and artisanal fishers from May 15 to June 15, 2019. But today, some fishermen at Jamestown here in Accra are kicking against government's scheduled closed season, saying it will be difficult to look after their children when the ban is finally implemented. Traders in the community say it's likely to cripple their businesses. Joy News' Henry Kwesibedu visited the fishing community and has filed this report.
Some agitated fishermen at Jamestown protesting government's planned ban on fishing next week. It's a Tuesday morning at Jamestown Beach here in Accra, the day nobody goes out to sea. Canoes carved out of giant trees line the shore. Other canoes are on the water as they stay anchored close by. This is a place where hundreds of local fishermen make a living. Peter Nikwe Amwa has been a fisherman for years. He tells me there's no alternative source of income when the ban is enforced next week. Peter says fishermen at Jamestown have decided to defy the ban and go out to sea.
The government hasn't made any arrangements for other sources of livelihood for us during the closed season, and this will greatly affect us. How are we going to take care of our families? We want the government to reconsider its decision on this subject. The government says anyone who will go fishing during the period will be arrested. In fact, we'll defy this directive, so they arrest all of us.
Kojo Kakraba says his livelihood depends fully on fishing. He tells me he can't survive a week without going to sea and will defy government's directive.
If government implements the ban, we will really suffer. All fishermen at this time are working extremely hard to take care of their families. And their children at school. If I don't go fishing, how will I take care of them? We have never agreed with the government on this closed season issue. I can't survive a day without going to the sea. I don't know what will happen to me if I stay at home a whole month without fishing.
Kwabena Bentum is also a fisherman here. He says dealing with the country's depleting fish stock will require best fishing practices and not through the observation of closed season.
The fishing trawlers are also to blame for the depleting fish stock. Some fishermen in the country use light and small nets, which mostly catch the small pelagics. Strict adherence to best fishing practices will solve the problem.
Abla Olivia and Akosia Emefa operate local eateries at the Jamestown Beach. They both sell food to fishermen, fishmongers, and people involved in fishing activities here. They are both of a view that the closed season will bring hardship and have an adverse effect on the business, since their customers are all fishermen.
I am a mother. My business will be heavily affected if the ban is finally implemented. I sell banku at the beach and all my customers are fisher folks. Apart from selling here, I don't have any other source of livelihood and income. We plead to the government to rescind its decision.
Yes.
Patronage has not been encouraging lately. I wonder what will happen during the closed season. My husband is also a fisherman, so I am very worried. The ban might increase the level of theft in the area.
It is a case of conservation against a demand to make a living. Henry Kwesi-Bedu's report for Joy News.
Call it the politics of stones and proverbs that succinctly captures what characterized former President Mohamed tour of some coastal communities in the Greater Accra region. The former president, who was on a tour to thank the party leadership and members for voting him as flag bearer, was met with crying women carrying stones and complaining about what they describe as failed promises by the current administration. The former president later explained the gesture is used to express an advice which was not heeded. Makshala Gbagba has more in this report.
John Mohammed, Nonyoka wa bamie, Nonyoka wa bamie, Bahote.
It was the NDC party chairman Samuel Ofusu Ampofu who first started singing about stones when the team arrived at Jamestown. The lyrics of the popular song loosely translates as, "What you told us has come to pass. What you told us has happened. Come for your stone."
The significance of this is that we are collecting all those stones across the length and breadth of this country to build a very solid foundation upon which our government and our party is going to rule the country come 2020.
At Choco, about 10 women carrying stones were not deterred by security personnel. Amidst wailing, they shook hands with the former president. One of them sits on the floor, ostensibly crying about unfulfilled promises.
It means a lot with the guns. The MPP came to lie to the people of Ghana, and therefore they are calling him back to come and continue the good work that he's doing. Okay, by hotel, John Mama, Pani by hotel.
An announcement for all the women to drop the stones in the center of the gathering. Former President Mahama later stepped forward to touch them. An obviously excited John Mahama spoke about the actions of the women.
Today, when I came here, I was giving a lot of stones. In our tradition, if you are giving stones, it means that you gave some advice to somebody and the person didn't take the advice, and now they are faced with the reality of what you told them. And so these stones are for everybody in NDC. We said it, but nobody, they didn't listen to us. And I think that the experience we all are going through is a lesson to all of us. Politicians must be honest. Tell the people what you can do for them. It isn't because you want political power, you make highfalutin promises that you know you cannot keep. One district, one factory, $1 million per constituency, one village, one dam, one child, one egg, one child, one chocolate, and all those things. Today, the reality is confronting us. And when you ask, where are these promises, you get no answer.
The tour will continue, and you can expect a bunch of women who are disillusioned with the current government presenting pieces of rock to the opposition leader. Maxwell Agbagba, Joy News.
And in the studio here, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, growing up, Prince Bentel never believed he was meant to be born male. After all, doing things like a girl came naturally to him, even his walking. Not even insults and abuses by others could deter him from being who he felt he was meant to be, a woman. Fast forward some decades later, and he's finally who he wanted to be. Angela Coleman, as she is now called, has undergone surgery to become Ghana's first transgender. She sat down with Kojo Yangsing, my colleague, and this is what transpired.
I would like to say the correct way of me is first I was a man and I turned myself into a lady. So I am no more a man again. People used to know me as Prince Bentel, but no more Prince Bentel. I'm called Angela Coleman now.
So, did you go through surgery?
Yeah, I go through surgery.
Okay, what did they do?
I went to change my organs.
Organs. So they removed your male organs and gave you a female organ. Wow. Were you worried before you did that? Were you worried about having it removed?
When I was a guy, I was facing a lot of challenges and stuff out there. When I go out, when I'm in school, when I'm at work, I face so many challenges, so I couldn't stand it. So it's like something like I was chatting on the net and I met some white man that I spoke with a white man and we went through the processing.
So he paid for everything?
Everything.
Angela tells Kojo Yangsing she's engaged to be married to a pastor's son.
When you came back home, you were a woman. How did your mother feel about that?
Everyone was okay with me because they know this is what I want. So everyone was cool with it.
All the people in your circle of friends, your family?
Everyone was cool.
Did they have questions? Were they curious like how I am curious?
Yeah.
So
it was a surprising. I have a boyfriend, but not in Ghana.
Okay.
He'll be getting married very soon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is he Ghanaian or is he white?
A Ghanaian, a pastor, and an engineer too.
A Ghanaian pastor and an engineer?
Yeah.
But he doesn't live in Ghana?
No.
Wow. Okay. Tell me, how did you meet? How did you fall in love?
Oh, it's online. We met online. That's all. So that's how we met online. We've been talking for so many years.
Were you surprised that a pastor was?
Yes, I was surprised because I didn't believe myself that I would get married to a pastor before or date a pastor before in my life. Yeah. So I was very, very surprised that a pastor is falling in love with me just like that.
So that's Angela Coleman's story. We're bringing you the rest of the business stories. Sandra joins me shortly. That'll be it for the bulletin tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more. Have a great evening.